Hi friends, welcome to Khan Educare. Now we are going to discuss about the investment function. Investment function is given much importance in the Keynesian theory of employment. Keynesian theory of employment, Keynes considered as the father of macroeconomics. He published his theory, theory of the general theory of employment, interest and money. So Keynesian economic theories is related to the employment opportunity and employment generation and income generation programs. So Keynes considered as the father of macroeconomics. Employment depends upon effective demand. Effective demand decides income, output and employment. So, so now we have to know the effective demand. So, effective demand is a situation in which aggregate demand and aggregate supply are equal. So, this effective demand is very important in Keynesian theory. So, this effective demand decides income, output, and employment, where the aggregate demand curve and aggregate supply curve equals at point E. This point is considered as the equilibrium point. Aggregate demand and aggregate supply will generate more income, output and employment. Where there is more demand, there will be more investment, and investment leads to employment opportunity, increase in employment opportunity. Employment will increase the income of community and output. So, in the general theory of employment, can suggest effective demand, where both aggregate demand and aggregate supply are equal. Aggregate demand and aggregate supply are equal. Of these two, investment is more important strategic variables, consumption being constant in the short run. Keynes give much importance on the investment. Investment is a very important strategic variable. Investment decides income, output, and employment. That's why consumption being constant in the short period. Now we have to know the meaning of investment. In Keynesian sense, investment has quite different from its ordinary sense. According to Keynes, investment means new addition to the stock of physical capital such as plant, machines, truck, new factories, and so on. But in general parlance, in general term, people using investment as the purchase of stock and shares, debentures, government bonds, and equities. But in economics, investment means an addition to the nation's stock. When we adding 1 plus 1, 1 plus 1, it will generate more employment opportunity. Employment opportunity will lead increase in income. So this is the condition where we adding some equipments, tools, machines, factory, building, bridges, road, railways, etc. This is considered as the investment. It means new factories, new machines, plants, equipments, etc. So therefore, real investment mean the addition to the stock of physical assets. Here, as well as any addition to the stock of finished goods, any stock of finished good in the process of production we consider as the investment. It also includes addition to the inventories as well as fixed capital. Here the capital using to produce goods and services. This capital is a stock concept in economics. As said above, investment is a more strategic variable, consumption being constant in the short run. When income of the community increases, consumption also increases. Consumption also increases. But consumption does not increase as the increase in income. Therefore, there will be a gap between income and consumption. This gap must be bridged. This gap must be bridged to increase employment opportunity, income, and so on. So that's why we had to bridge this gap. This gap is saving, and this saving becomes investment. In other words, employment cannot increase unless investment increases. So employment and investment has close relationship. When employment increases, income increases, people will save their part of the income, and this saving will become new investment. So here we have to know the consumption function. We think according to the Keynes, as increase in income, consumption will not increase as income increases. We have to know here income and consumption. A small example: when income is 0, consumption is 20. When income is 60, consumption is 70. When income is 120, consumption also 120 crores. When income increases to 180, consumption also increases to 170. In the time of depression, people using their past savings for their consumption. When income generated in the economy to rupees 60 crores, consumption increases to 70 crores. Here the situation is dissaved. When other 60 crore rupees added in the economy, that is 120 crores, consumption also becomes 120 crores. This is considered as stable consumption. But here we have to see income increases to 180, consumption increases to 170. Afterward, 240 crores income increases, consumption increases to 220 crores. Here the savings will be 10 crores and 20 crores. It's increasing. It means income increases, consumption also increases, but it does not increase in the same rate as income increases. It is very important. The part of the income people will be saved. This savings will become the new investment. Now, friends, now we have to move to know the types of investment.